It's definitely that time. I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Shocking news. Keith Sweat and other R&B singers might be in trouble. Also, Fat Joe allegedly is on Jeffrey Epstein's list. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And as always, I bring y'all the exclusives. So put on your seatbelts because this demonstration is definitely going to be one of those demonstrations that you're going to be on a roller coaster ride. But before I get started with this demonstration, if I could get you to hit the like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. I want to salute everybody that's catching this on the replay. I want to salute everybody that's watching from the clouds. I need to salute those that are in my bushes. Y'all might as well just come on out of my bushes and come on down in the chat and congregate with everybody else. It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad that y'all all are here, but it's just more respectable if you come on out of the bushes and participate with me and the Rock Squad. I want to salute all my moderators. I want to salute you, him, and her. Salute the whole Rock Squad and salute all my first timers. I appreciate all the love and support that I get. Well, y'all know how I do. I like to jump straight into the demonstration. So let me read my disclaimer and we're going to chop it up. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Everything that you are about to hear is all allegedly. It's all allegedly. This demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Salute Sagittarius, salute Leslie, salute y'all. I'm starting it early because the things that I ran across, I'm like, wow. I ran across some R&B singers from the 70s, the 80s, and even the 90s. And also this Jeffrey Epstein or Epstein's list. Now, one thing that we all have to take accountability and bear witness to is the culture. And unfortunately, the culture that we live in and the culture that we was raised in wasn't right. And even to this day isn't right. Now, older men being with younger women has been around for ages. And in my opinion, an older man with a younger woman isn't a problem. It's not a problem at all because women mature faster than men. Girls mature faster than little boys. But the problem is when you have adult men. Salute Miss Lady T. Salute Sheila. Salute Miss Lady T. Salute Sheila. The problem is when you have men, when you have adult men sleeping with underage teenagers, underage girls. 17, 16, 15, 14 on down is off limits. If you are an adult male even if you 18, and I know it's only 1 year apart, but by law, if you are an 18-year-old man, by law, you're not supposed to have no kind of sexual activity with a female 17 years old and under. Now, in a case with a male that's 18 years old and he's dating a 17-year-old young lady, I can understand. Even though, according to the law, is wrong, but I can understand. 1 year apart, 18, 17. But when you are 28, when you are 21, when you are 25, you're in your 30s, and you're sleeping with a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, that's wrong. That's wrong. But as I was saying before, unfortunately, our culture, when we was growing up, our culture allowed it. It allowed it. You know, and it happened not only in the music industry, not only in sports. That type of activity, believe it or not, happened just in a regular person's life. You know, 28, 29-year-old man messing with a 16-year-old, 15, 17-year-old young teenager. It's wrong. Then if we go back, I want us to go back in time. And let's go back to the R&B songs. The R&B songs, believe it or not, told it all. Salute, Biggest. Appreciate you for pulling up, Biggest. Some of our favorite songs, some of our favorite R&B singers, when you break down the lyrics, when you carefully listen to the lyrics, those men are talking about sleeping with underage girls. They're talking about sleeping with girls. If you hear any song and they mention a girl, that's an underage minor. Some of them are more blunt with it than others. And I'll tell y'all, the one that's straightforward, Keith Sweat. Sing it with me, y'all. You may be young, but you're ready. Sing it with me, y'all. Ready to learn. Listen, you may be young, but you're ready to learn. He's not talking about no woman. He's not talking about a lady. He's talking about a little girl. Yes, he is. He's talking about a little girl. Salute, Isla. Salute, Isla. Appreciate you for pulling up. But y'all know how I do over here. I like to go straight to the audio. Because some people will say, Shane, let us hear it. Right, Biggest? You're not a little girl. You're not a little girl. Now, another one, and I thought my man, the one that I'm about to say, that I thought this joker that I'm about to say to y'all, I thought this joker was one of the coolest. I thought this joker was one of the coolest R&B cats around. But this next joker that I'm going to be playing audio from, and y'all all should know who I'm talking about because it's no secret. Ern Hall. Drop a 1 if y'all actually heard the Ern Hall interview. Now, Ern Hall was straight blunt. Ern Hall said that when he got with his baby mother, Allegedly, she was only 16 years old. And what'd he say, Biggest? What'd he say, Sheila? Miss Lady T? Isla? What Ern Hall say? Salute, eat back. He said, I took her. He said, I took her straight upstairs and took it and got it. And I'm just listening to him, and I'm like, bruh, do you understand what you're saying? You just confess to having sexual relations with a 16-year-old minor. For those that haven't heard, let me go to it. Salute, Cola. Appreciate you for pulling up, Cola. I don't know he is, most of them are beasts, though. And I just was listening. Like I said, I'm listening to him, and I'm like, bruh, that's something to be proud of. That's something to be proud of. That you slept with a 16-year-old teenager. Not only did you sleep with her, you impregnated her. That's something to be proud of. And then we wonder why the culture is where it's at today. No outside forces. No outside forces got our culture jacked up. We got our own culture jacked up. Let's take a listen. Tell me what y'all think. For those that haven't heard it.
Luke said that he introduced you to Gloria Velez.
Luke didn't introduce me to no Gloria Velez. We can call Luke right now. You know what I mean?
He said it in an interview a while back.
Look what I'm saying to you. She was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion.
Okay, I know that.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her. Luke didn't never fucking introduce me to anybody.
Okay.
In his life. I love Luke to death.
He said he got out the limo, grabbed her hand, took her upstairs, and slept with her. Salute, Tracy. Salute, Tracy. You're proud. You're proud. This is Ern Hall, y'all. From the legendary R&B group Guy. He's proud to say he got out the limo, grabbed her by the hand, took her upstairs, and slept with her.
He just had on. But can't nobody look? The reason why he's saying he introduced me to, because it's a good thing to say. Okay, I introduced Aaron Hall to this girl. I took her. Me and Gloria's cool. We got cool in 2 weeks. You feel me? I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit. And you an umbilical cord bitch. You fucking 35, 36 years old. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I'm a boss motherfucker. And I love my son, so I ain't gonna break probation by fucking with you and not being able to speak to him again. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. But when I speak to a nigga that got dick and balls, he can never say introduce me to no bitch.
This is Ern Hall. Right, Isla? Right, Isla? This is Ern Hall now from the legendary R&B group Guy. This is Ern Hall.
Nobody ain't never introduced me to a bitch in their life. I wish they did. The thing is that you can ask Gloria, though. It has nothing to do with me. I don't like talking about no man. We both Adam first.
You know something? I just remembered that Gloria had tattooed Aaron's right above
in black, red, and green.
Right above her vagina.
Right above it with a parenthesis with an S.
Right.
Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this?
It belongs to. Look. When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke, you know. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean? She was tall, she was big, blonde.
He said she was dancing with Luke and them. I ain't know she was a puppy. We all know what the slangology for a puppy is. When somebody make reference to a puppy, we know what a puppy is.
I'm here, boom, with the black patent leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore. So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. You feel me? So
drop a 1. Drop a 1. If y'all think he should have at least found out her age. Drop a 1. If y'all think he should have at least found out her age. Drop a 2 if you think he knew her age and he didn't care that she was 16. Let me see some 1s and 2s. Drop the 1 if you think he should have asked her age. Drop a 2 if you think he knew her age and didn't care about her age. This is deep. This is deep.
she gonna say Luke is lying. You feel me? Because I don't lie on my dick. You feel what I'm saying? My mother was Puerto Rican, from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'm gonna grab them. Okay. I ain't gonna ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a nigga.
Preach.
I'm gonna take your bitch. She chose up already. Now if she wanna go renegade, bitch.
At what point did she get the tattoo?
3 days after I fucked her.
3 days.
3 days after he slept with her, she was still 16 years old. 3 days out of his own mouth, she got his name tattooed above her private area. This is Arrogance. What type of ish is this? This is Aaron Hall, once again, everybody, from the legendary R&B group Guy.
3 whole days. If anybody can do that shit, I don't care if you was married, I don't care if you was engaged, if your anniversary, if your bitch did that shit, then I'll stop saying I miss you. But my whole thing is this, is that I love Gloria to death because she gave me a beautiful son. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So my whole thing is that I want to make sure that it's right. I love my son, Aaron Robert Hall IV, to death. I ain't seen him in 15 years, but I love him to death. We talk all the time. Gloria didn't do no bad thing to me. I thought she was older. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I see a puppy on the field when I'm doing dog training. I think it's a year old or 2 years old, and it'd be like 8 months. So I don't know.
In this incident, I ain't buying it. His arrogance. You get where I'm coming from, everybody? The arrogance, the cockiness. You know, so I'm not buying it that, as he state, I ain't buying it. Even if you did know, allegedly, if you did know, in my perspective, you still slept with her. Buckle up, everybody. As I stated, we got a lot to chop it up. He ain't the only one. Right, Isla? He knew. He's the arrogance, the cockiness.
Imagine like Aaron Hall singing at the end of the song, and he's really trying to bring you into the song. That's why I'm gonna put it in that. Let me see the pleasure in your eyes, baby. Let me see the pleasure in your eyes.
If you would like for me to read your comment, if you would like for me to answer a question, please purchase a super chat. I can't get to the comments all the time, but I do acknowledge all super chats. So if you need some comments for me to read, if you need some questions for me to answer, please purchase a super chat and put it in a super chat. Click on the $ symbol in the chat and it'll walk you through how to purchase a super chat. So if you would like for me to read your comment, if you have a question for me to answer, and if I don't get to it, please just purchase a super chat. I answer all super chats.
Let me show you what it feels like to be pleasured by a man like me. Let me show you, baby. Let me see the pleasure. Let me see the pleasure in your eyes. Let me, baby, yeah. Let me see the pleasure in your eyes. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm killing this bitch tonight. Hey.
Aaron, I got a quick question for you.
Go ahead.
What's the deal with the Teddy Riley diss song?
I mean, like, square niggas would try to say some square shit. But how the fuck you can say Aaron Hall's a diva bitch? You feel me? Like, I ain't gonna say nothing about anybody.
See, this is the thing that get me with everybody that want to talk that pimpism. Everybody that want to claim pimping. If you really never pimped on a hoe, if you not cut from that cloth, don't even use the terminology. You're using terminology that makes it seem as if you really stomped down on a hoe. And that's not the case right here. Because as I stated before, if you talk to any full veteran, if you talk to a veteran pimp, if you talk to any of them that done time on the blade in the game, they're going to tell you when it comes to pimping, it's all about finesse. Taking it, that's a sucker. Sleeping with a minor, or underage, that's for suckers. But let's listen to some more of Aaron Hall.
Because square niggas got a fucking infection on them already, you feel me? So real street niggas see it already. He have that square infection. He gonna talk about shit. When niggas gotta move a lot and have a whole lot of bodyguards and all you got is Teddy's Jam and I sung it, fuck you.
Luke said that he introduced you to Gloria Velez.
Luke didn't introduce me to no Gloria Velez. We can call Luke right now, you know what I mean?
He said it in an interview a while ago.
Look what I'm saying to you. She was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion.
Okay, I know that.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her. Luke didn't never fucking introduce me to anybody.
Okay.
In his life. I love Luke to death.
He just had on.
But can't nobody look, the reason why he's saying he introduced me to, because it's a good thing to say, okay, I introduced Aaron Hall to this girl. I took her. Me and Gloria's cool. We got cool in 2 weeks. You feel me? I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit and you an umbilical cord bitch. You fucking 35, 36 years old. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I'm a boss motherfucker. And I love my son, so I ain't gonna break probation by fucking with you and not being able to speak to him again.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But when I speak to a nigga that got dick and balls, he can never say introduce me to no bitch. Nobody ain't never introduced me to a bitch in their life. I wish they did. The thing is that you can ask Gloria though. It has nothing to do with me. I don't like talking about no man. We both Adam first.
You know something? I just remembered that Gloria had tattooed Aaron's right above
In black, red, and green.
Right above her vagina.
Right above it with a parenthesis with an S.
Right.
Aaron's.
It belongs to.
Look. When I saw her.
Salute to Dana J and the Dream Team. I see you, Dana J. Salute to Dana J and the Dream Team. Salute for life. Salute everybody.
When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke and them. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall, she was big, blonde hair, boom, with the black pant leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore.
For all the fellas, Dana J and all the fellas, the For Life, drop a 1. Drop a 1. If you salute Rose, I see you, Rose. Rose, you can answer this too. But for all the fellas, drop a 1. If you had an opportunity to sleep with an underage girl but passed the up. Drop a 1. I've been in that situation several times. Drop a 1 if you had an opportunity to choose. The For Life says, I'm picking up what you putting down, bro. Appreciate you, For Life. Let me know, y'all, because exactly that it's and this the thing that gets me, everybody. This gets me with the characters like a Aaron Hall. Yo, you Aaron Hall. You belong to one of the greatest R&B groups of all time. Guy. Dana says, but I must say Gloria Velez lied about her age on this one, and this is why Luke went off. Okay, hold that thought, because Dana is saying that she lied about her age. Biggest says, I mean, we all ran across it, but it's on the man himself, self-control. And that's what it all boils down to. Like, I didn't ran across it. For Life says, I passed it, ain't worth it. I didn't, and I'm sure we all done ran across it. Like some easy kitty cat. Like, don't gotta pay no money. Don't gotta do nothing. Just go up in it. But the line is drawn whereas though you know I can't touch that. But let's listen to some more.
So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her.
See, stop right there. He went, grabbed her hand, took her up to the hotel room and gave it to her without even asking. Maybe it's just me, and maybe my thought pattern. Maybe it's just me, my thought pattern. But to just grab a chick, grab a female, take her up to the room, and don't inquire her age.
You feel me? So she gonna say Luke is lying. You feel me? Because I don't lie on my dick. You feel what I'm saying? My mother was Puerto Rican, from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'm gonna grab them. Okay. I ain't gonna ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a nigga.
Preach.
I'm gonna take your bitch. She chose up already. Now if she wanna go renegade, bitch.
At what point did she get the tattoo?
3 days after I fucked her.
3 days.
3 whole days. If anybody...
Stop right there. Stop right there. All right. Now, 3 days. 3 days. You never found out how old she was? Keep in mind, it's not like he hit it once. It's not like he hit it twice. It ain't like he hit and missed. He practically put furniture up in the kitty cat. He put a seed up in the kitty cat. So he was hitting it. Now you mean to tell me from 16 years old to 18, that's 2 years that you was with her. 2 years, you never knew how old she was. Somebody talk back to me. 2 years. You never knew how old she was. I get it the first time around. You was drunk. I get it. You was high up. You was on one. I get it. You seen a baddie. I want that. I get it. All right? When does it register? Because even if she's a woman, I'm going to ask her age. Off the rip. How old are you? When your birthday? That's the first thing I want to know, because I need to know if me and you are compatible. I need to know about our signs. I need to know, did you just have a birthday? I need to know, do you got a birthday coming up? I need to know. And I do believe the fellas feel the same way I feel. Somewhere from the first date to the 3 days time stamp that she got the tattoo, you ain't ask her age, you ain't ask her birthday. Not only that, then you was with her for 2 years, from 16 to 18. You ain't find out how old she was? I ain't buying it. I ain't buying that. I'm gonna come back. Let's listen though.
Anybody can do that shit. I don't care if you was married. I don't care if you was engaged at your anniversary. If your bitch did that shit, then I'll stop saying I miss you. But my whole thing is this, is that I love Gloria to death because she gave me a beautiful son. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So my whole thing is that I want to make sure that it's right. I love my son Aaron Robert Hall the fourth to death. I ain't seen him in 15 years, but I love him to death. We talk all the time. Gloria didn't do no bad thing to me. I thought she was older. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I see a puppy on the field when I'm doing dog training. I think it's a year old or 2 years old, and it'd be like 8 months.
Now, he says she didn't do nothing wrong to him. He thought that she was of age. Somewhere in the equation, it's a man's, for every man out there, listen up. Take my advice. You better find out how old the broad is. You better find out how old that chick is before you go up in her. I'm telling you that. You better find out. I don't care how much of a baddie she is. I don't care how much of a stallion she is. I don't care about none of the above. I don't care even if she wanted to go on the track and get you some bread. You better find out exactly how old she is before you start dealing with her. That's 101. That's man's law 101. Find out how old that broad is. It's every man's responsibility. Listen up. It's every man's responsibility to find out how old that woman, how old that young girl is before you lay down with her. It's every man's responsibility to find out how old that man is or that boy is before you have sex with him. I ain't buying that. It's called responsibility. It's called accountability. Oh, yo, I ain't even know. That don't work in the court of law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Let's listen to some more.
So I don't know. Yeah. So when I saw her, everybody was trying to get at her. Right. Why y'all scared of her? I took her. I couldn't even talk. I had a speech impediment. Ask her. Yeah, because they didn't know what to do. They ain't know what to say. Can't no bitch out there say that she handled my shit. My father's a pastor, so my whole thing is that my grandfather being a pimp is just like I'm third generation Aaron Hall the third. My father's is Aaron Hall Jr. He's a pastor, so I just skipped over it like checkers. And the whole thing is this: is that if you never heard a girl say that no fucked up trick shit about Aaron Hall, then you understand that let's chill shit is some real shit.
Drop a 1 because charges can still be filed against him. Now, the minute that charges are filed against him, folks are going to come out. Oh, they trying to tear down another black man. Oh, why they going after Aaron Hall?
So that was basically like from some life experience?
Now, my whole thing is that I just think that girls think that a whole lot of guys, you know, run after they shit. You know what I mean?
Talk to me. You can say what you want on there.
A whole lot of, you know, a whole lot of girls out there with the umbilical cords, them young 1970s, 1980s bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They try to go up there with the, you know, with the fresh out the pussy shit and think they can get like a nigga like Aaron Hall. I'm historical dick.
Yeah.
They fuck with me.
That's right.
If they fuck with me, it's a big dick. Everybody know my son's mother. Everybody know that shit. So
yeah, that's Gloria, and tell them about it.
So when you put Aaron's on it, when you fuck a bitch for 3 days and take the bitch hand and take him out of the man's hand, then you a retired pimp.
Yeah.
You can't say that. See, this is what gives pimping a black eye. You can't say that. Now, if she was of age, because I've done that. If she was of age, then you would get that stripe. You don't get that stripe because she was a minor. Let me say it again. If she was of age, yeah, you'll get a stripe. But because she was a minor, you don't get no stripe. And the thing that gets me is he's sitting there with a veteran PI. He's sitting there with Bishop Don Juan. And not one time did Bishop Don Juan correct him. What are we doing, pimping? What are we doing, pimping? Honestly, what are we doing, pimping?
But at the time, as soon as I came to South Beach, I just grabbed her, and she'll tell you the same story. I just grabbed her and fucked her for 3 days. Then Aaron's got on a pussy with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Like it's Aaron.
I mean, it was
three
like,
colors on it.
Yeah, crazy glue.
And my whole thing is this: is that if niggas can't handle me, I'm not gonna never let them get my last name. If you can't handle my dick, you ain't getting my last name. So I've been single for 50 years.
All right, now.
A whole lot of niggas out there, from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
So everybody know if I say it, I'm a fucking to death. I like the fucking public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So niggas can't say nothing about it. Them square ass niggas, them precious cake little dick niggas.
Yeah.
I like for them niggas to see how I fuck. Like you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them niggas. They been at my house. They all see me fuck. They all know I'm a big nigga.
Yeah.
If a bitch touch my dick and she say my dick is small, then she's a lying bitch.
Yeah.
Tell her to name the tattoo that's on my rib that says warning. You think I'm fucking you up. The thing is, a whole lot of niggas write about taking girls out to shop, taking girls to fly to Dubai and all that shit. Bitch, close your eyes, we anywhere. You feel me? And my whole thing is this. Is that
talk about it.
If you can handle my dick and you can make me still be Aaron Hall without fucking rapping out your mouth, then I'll take you anywhere. Other than that shit, you back home, bitch.
Tell us about that son just went off there.
Well, don't be afraid. Me and Hank Shockley.
I'm curious to find out about the inspiration behind Don't Be Afraid. Don't Be Afraid. On the soundtrack of the movie Juice. Who exactly was he talking about? Don't be afraid. Help me out. He says, don't be afraid. Then it goes to, you gonna be calling me daddy. Y'all gonna have to help me out because y'all know I like to stay right there with it. Now, calling you daddy can be broken down in different metaphors. It just depends. But it's starting to give off creepy vibes, especially knowing that you took your baby mother, Gloria, just met her, 16 years old. See, I have to stay there on the age. And I know Dana and some other folks might say, but he didn't know. That's his responsibility. That's what he should have had known. But let's find out the inspiration behind Don't Be Afraid.
That used to work with Chuck D and Public Enemy. He asked me to do the soundtrack, and I just, we was drinking a little bit, and I Now I lay me down to sleep. And I just started singing it. I just like, my father's from church, so I was like, I'm about to kill this girl, so let me just pray her a song real quick. And I just sung the song for her real quick. But it's easy for me to come up.
It's always, I'm about to do this to a girl. It's never, I'm about to do this to a woman. I'm about to do this to this lady. It's always, I'm about to do this to this girl. Help me understand. It's always, just listen. Just listen. It's always him mentioning him sexual activities with a girl. Never a woman. Never a lady. Always a girl. But let's listen.
With lyrics, it's like Jay-Z is the only rapper out there that I know that I heard that just come off the top of his dome. I ain't never write down a lyric in my life.
Wow, that's amazing. It just straight off the dome.
Ever, man.
So once you think of it and you know it, you could just get in the studio and
just
record.
in my head. It's just like how I will fuck a bitch is how I'm gonna sing it.
So the Tupac song just came together like that?
Everything just came, let me see you talk. Stood up, I just walked in the studio. If you speak to Shilk or whoever, I just walked in the studio. Nasty man here again. Don't want it to ever end. It's feeling too good. Give me some more, baby, baby. Your body's the kind I like. Big booty, 10 times like. Back it up, girl. Let me in, girl. Toss it up on me. My whole thing, a lot of niggas, like a lot of motherfuckers out there can't sing in the same key or sing the same thing without the music or stuff, but I just love singing. My whole thing is that if you wrote it, you should be able to sing it the same way.
But who all you work with, man? Tell us some of the people you work with and things, you know.
Well, my whole thing is that is, you know, now we can talk straight up because I love you like a father. You feel what I'm saying? Like my father got stage 4 cancer and he's dying, so you gotta love something great in yourself in order to change. So that changed me out of the whole pimp game.
Thank you. You know,
and just my kids being 26 and 24, I just said, okay, my daughters is older now. Let me just get out of it. So my whole thing is this: is that when you feel yourself being pulled to some kind of positive thing, God has asked me to be the singer to change R&B back to what it was. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that a whole lot of R&B guys out there is too Hollywood and they got a whole crew and they drinking or they sniff or they do whatever. I don't care what they do, but the thing is that whatever you do, do it in the confinements of your own home. Nobody can never say that. They say Aaron Hall drunk. Yeah, I get drunk. I get fucked up, but at my house. But God allowed me to come to California 5,000 miles away from Brooklyn, New York. Haven't seen my son, my daughters, never spent the birthday or Christmas with any of my kids.
I want to hear Gloria. I want to go to Gloria, y'all. I want to hear what Gloria got to say. Let's go to Gloria.
Welcome to the Gloria Velez podcast. I am your host, Gloria Velez. You're watching Vlad TV. If you guys didn't know who I am, let me give you a little history about me. I've been in this game since I was 14 years old. I was a backup dancer, danced for bass groups, freestyle music, if a lot of you young ones know. Was dancing on tour on weekends because I was in high school. At 16, I started modeling for John Casablanca Elite. Then at 19, I started doing music videos. If you can see me in Big Pimpin', Ja Rule Holla Holla, Cisco the Thong Song, DMX Where They At, Jagged Edge, Ghostface, A-list videos, just to name a few. I was signed a record deal with Rodney Jerkins and also Cash Money from Baby. So I've done a lot of things in this industry. I graced many covers of magazines, from King, Playboy, Double XL, Maxim, just to name a few. I went on tour because my album didn't come out, and we're going to talk about that in the previous episodes. What happened with my album? But I went on tour with a mixtape, and who hosted it was DJ Envy. I went on tour in the United States. I went on tour overseas. Was hosting.
Salute, Laggin. Salute, Laggin.
But how about Japan itself when your first trip?
So to fly you to Japan and back again. After
the No Strings Attached tour.
After
No, that ain't what I want.
Tour, we did my first.
That ain't what I want. I want Gloria talking about her relationship with Aaron Hall. And do we hold her responsible? I mentioned this in a previous demonstration. Do we hold these females responsible? I mean, just like Aaron Hall was supposed to had known how old she was, we gotta say that she knew that she was underage. She knew that he was a grown man. So it takes two. So why didn't she take accountability and say, wait a minute, I'm only 16. Drop a 1. If y'all feel that just as well as he should have found out how old she was, drop a 1 if y'all feel like she should have told him how old she was.
Are you?
The Bud Light.
Speaking of that and influences, your baby father.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that story?
Well, my son's father's Aaron Hall. If y'all don't know.
Let's turn it around.
Wait, did you know that I was his baby mother the time I met you?
I did not know. Aaron Hall, I did not know
Please.
that was your baby mama. I had no idea.
I don't believe that.
I told him that.
I know you did.
Right. I told him. I was like, hey, man, I didn't know that was your baby mother. But the reason why we laughing about that, because apparently something went viral. Would you like to share with the audience?
My God. Okay, so as you know on Vlad TV, Vlad gets people flustered. And he flustered my son's father, and my son's father said a few things that were not so pleasant about me.
Oh.
But this is 8 years ago, so it just recently went viral.
Where my pearls at?
She was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion. Okay, I know that is. Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her. When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke, you know. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall, she was big, blonde hair, boom, with the black patent leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore. So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. My mother was Puerto Rican, from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'm going to grab them. Okay. I ain't going to ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a nigga.
Preach.
I'm going to take your bitch. She chose up already. Now, if she want to go renegade, bitch.
So I want to say this in response to that we're in a better place now. He apologized to me and my son. He's great to my son, and now we have a grandchild, and he's a great grandfather. So I don't need a public apology. I don't care what people think or what people, the past is the past. I forgive him for everything. And I think forgiveness is key. to move forward, first healing myself and healing him. And now we can laugh, we've cried about things, and we move forward from it. Wow. Yeah, so that's why I could be on Vlad TV, you know?
Slow clap, ladies and gentlemen, slow clap. Bring it up.
But it's real, it's growth.
Awesome. No,
yeah,
because I remember when you told me that, that he was your baby's dad, I told you a story that a lot of people may not know. Before I sang any R&B music, I was singing gospel music.
Right.
The first R&B song I ever sang was Goodbye Love by God, which was led by your baby father.
Right.
And so 60 degrees of separation.
Right.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Goodbye Love, man. It was like that was.
Speaking of Guy, did Aaron Hall do the version of Tell Me? I know.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Bruh.
Yes.
There are a couple of versions
Yes.
of Drew Hill's very first single, Tell Me. One version is from Aaron Hall.
I was actually in the studio when he recorded that. We just started dating.
You are lying.
Swear to God, I was 16.
It was a lot.
Now, she said it. She said, I was in the studio when he recorded that. We first started dating. I was 16. Somebody mentioned why the parents. See, what's really going on, y'all? What's really going on? What's really going on? What's going on? She didn't say he R-ed her. She didn't say that he R-ed me. She was a willing participant in it. And they stayed together. We gotta get deeper. We have to get deeper because it has to be more to it when it comes to these celebrities and all of these sex scandals. Now, lucky, I'm not going to say lucky, but just imagine if Gloria would have pressed charges. Imagine if the family would have pressed charges. Let's find out what type of female Gloria Velez really is, because it's a strong possibility that she could have been hoeing. It's a strong possibility that she said, look, I'm going to ride Aaron Hall all the way to the top. Who knows? But let's find out. Allegedly. Now, I see where she said Tupac saved her from getting ganged. And I'm going to take that from Leslie, and I see everybody else coming. But Leslie says, Shank, these girls is going after these older men for money and possibly fame. So is it, Leggins says, and wow, Shank, that's true too. That's when you get around on her ass. Right, so it's like, let's find out the type of person she is, y'all. Let's see what Jane Dale got to say.
Feel about her saying that?
I think that
Gloria Velez, she came out and, she called out the video that we did where you was talking about her and Aaron Hall, and she said that she never met you before. How you feel about her saying that?
I think that Gloria need to look in history and see all the things that she done, and just picture, why would somebody lie about her? What is it about her
that somebody would want to tell a lie about. Yo, bro, everything I love, right? Gloria Velez was in Cancun on the stage with Coco from Chicago. I'm not going to mention the other people that's in that frame that I have because they are so big right now, it would mess up their career. Do you understand me? I'm not the only one with the copy, but I'm the only one. I'm the one who gave it to them. It's Gloria Velez and Coco taking Moet bottles. You understand? And putting them up themselves on stage in Cancun. Do you understand me? What she's talking about is that when I said that we were at Kanye West's party in North Hollywood, I was bodyguarding Scott Storch at the time. Do you understand? Listen, I was bodyguarding Scott Storch. I don't want to told Scott, let's get up out of here, because they was about to do some damage to us, bro. I can't listen to me, man. At the time, I only had 16. One was already in the chamber. It was about 20 dudes was about to jump us.
So he's saying that Gloria and Coco from Chicago was on stage putting Moet bottles up their kitty cat.
Life. So yeah, let's get right into it, okay? Absolutely. So it's the year 1996. I am dating Aaron Hall. I am 17 years old and pregnant at the time, I know. We're actually in LA, and he was going to sign with Death Row Records, okay? So he's recording, doing music, you know, he's doing video shoots, and I was, you know, part of it. We were living out in a hotel, you know, because we wasn't, you know, living there. We was just recording, and he was just getting a feel of the whole, everybody's going to sign with Death Row. You know, you got Pac, you got Casey and JoJo, you got Snoop. It was amazing to be a part, you know? So, yeah, Aaron's super talented, and they wanted to be a part of Death Row Records. We were invited to a Mother's Day event, 1996, and all of Death Row family and friends were supposed to join, come and watch, you know, their relatives perform for them. So I thought that was a beautiful thing. I was gonna get my hair and nails done, and Aaron was like, I can't take you. Tupac is going to take you and make sure you're good and safe. I was like, oh, okay. You know, we're in LA, and, you know, my first time out there, so, okay, he's going to make sure I'm safe. I didn't think nothing of it. And at that time, him and Pac were talking. Things seemed a little antsy. He was more on edge than usual, Aaron. And so Aaron said he had to go to a meeting. That's why he couldn't, you know, take me to get my hair and nails done. And it was an important meeting, and he couldn't miss it. So Pac's going to hold me down. So I go to the salon. You know, me and Pac had deep conversations. So it was the first time I've ever been alone with him and actually one-on-one. I mean, he schooled me on life. He schooled me on becoming a mom. He schooled me on just so many things that I would never forget our conversation, ever forget our conversation about this industry. I mean, me being 17 and all this is in front of me, and it's a wow factor, you know, all these celebrities and, you know, the studio and video shoots, and this man is so deeply spiritual, so connected with, you know, himself and the worldly things that are going on. He just knew so much, and I'm grateful that I got that opportunity to have with him. And then we met up with Aaron after I got my nails and, you know, hair done. We went to the hotel, and Aaron's extra, you know, stress and pacing back and forth, and him and Pac start talking. So he's extra mean, extra just everything. And I felt like there was something going on. It's more than just business. So to let you know, allegedly, when he was, you know, going to this meeting, he was kind of pleading for my life, you know. some of these people to be down with the cause, you got to sacrifice people, which is insane to me. And allegedly, they told him, you know, there come a dime a dozen of her. You know, she could be replaced. I don't care if she's pregnant. You can get a pretty young thing and it's no big deal. So allegedly, he said, no, I'll be damned. I'm not going to do that. I love her. You know, I'll die for her. So they went back and forth, and allegedly it was said, it's going to happen if you like it or not. So he buys me a white dress to go to the event, right? And the day of the event now, we're getting dressed, and he's extra antsy and very mean to me. I mean, he was mean, but he was mean. And everybody knows he was, you know, violent, verbally, physically, emotionally. But you got to understand, I was 17, naive, young, you know, so I loved him. You know, when you love someone, you make excuses for people, you know. You know, he treats you so well one minute, and the next minute he can be so ugly, and then you hold on to the goodness in them, you know? So that's what I did throughout the violence in our relationship. So the day of, we're getting dressed, and we're leaving the hotel, and we're waiting outside in front for our limo. And Casey and JoJo was standing outside waiting for their limo as well. And Aaron was just grabbing me and just being aggressive, and I hate this dress, and I'm like, you bought it from me, like, what are you, like, you crazy, you know, like, what's going on, like, why are you so, he was so angry, he wanted to argue with me, but I wasn't giving it to him, I was not, there was something eerie in the air for me, that it was just something different, and Casey and JoJo was talking to him, and trying to calm him down, and pray with him, so right there, that was kind of a God sent of angel, both of them, trying to calm him down, pray with him, talk to him, and try to refocus his mind. So I say this before we go into the venue. When he was pleading for my life and telling that, you know, he doesn't want nothing happening to me, but he's still taking me to the venue. You know, I went over this over and over in my head. Why would he take me? Why would he put a white dress on me? It's like, you know, dressing the lamb and giving her to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has different levels of love or how they should love someone. Obviously, he doesn't know how to love right. But I would never put my loved one in that situation, knowing that you're going into the wolves' den. You know what's going to happen. You know what they want to do. But you should have take me home on a plane, or say, leave me alone, don't ever talk to me. I play that back over and over again. You know, the ride to I could, like, honestly remember how I felt, a scared young girl, you know, petrified, just emotionally distraught, but so in love with him at the time. Like, literally in love with him. And, you know, I want to give him excuses. You know, that's what a lot of women do when you're abused. We give them excuses after excuses, but, you know, maybe he felt obligated to. You know, he wanted to be famous. He wanted them to be accepted.
Was it her fault? Was it her fault? I know she was 17. She was naive. She was 17. She was naive. Was it her fault? Do she get hit with accountability?
But you gotta have limits and sacrifices, you know, to want to be rich or to want to be famous. You gotta have limits, you know. You can't. That limit of sacrificing a person shouldn't be ever.
Right.
So we go in the car, we drive to the venue, we pull up. He grabs my hand. You know, the same thing he always says: "Look at me, don't look at no man." You know, an aggressive person that you know, super controlling. You know, the same routine. We walk in. So when we walk in, before we enter the venue, of all the people and the cameras and all the family that's sitting down at the tables, this old lady was walking out, being escorted out, actually. A mature lady. She was like in the 70s or 80s-year-old. Had an entourage, and she stopped Aaron and I. She grabbed my belly, and I was only 4 months, but super skinny. I wasn't even showing. And she says, "Don't worry, your son is going to be all right. He's going to be healthy and he's going to be good," which we didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl. Then she looks at Aaron and tells him, "You know what? You be good to her. You protect her." And she prayed on us. That's God. God sent an angel right there because his whole demeanor changed. Because he was trying to get angry in the car. He was trying to start a fight, maybe to justify what's going to happen or was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, I play that over and over in my mind. Like, if that lady didn't stop, or, you know, she didn't say a prayer, or Casey and Jojo didn't pray outside the hotel, you know, that was God sending him, like, you know, what are you doing, Aaron? You know what I mean? You know of God. You know what I mean? You come from church. Right, so we walk into the venue, cameras, you know, video cameras, taking pictures, so we greet people, still by his side. We walk into the back of the venue, you know, because there's a stage, and so we walk in the back of the stage. He pulls a chair to the side of you know, you see the stage, and there's the back entrance when, you know, when you're performing and you're waiting to go on stage. So he puts a chair to sit here. I said, okay. But he was serious and aggressive. I was like, damn, he's like, I'm still have no idea. I'm oblivious of what's going on or what's going to happen or what they tend to do. This female, like, runs towards Aaron, and then he walks her halfway, grabs her, and they start talking, and they're in each other's face. So a 17-year-old's mind, you know what I'm thinking? They fucking. You know what I'm saying? Right? She's approaching, she's screaming something. Right. Oh, I'm here, I'm pregnant. Right. You know, she's upset. Aaron's a hoe. You know, he's the nasty man. You know what I mean? Right. I'm like, listen, what's so crazy and mind-boggling to me, like, I would never hit Aaron back, even though he was physically, you know, physical with me. But anybody else that would confront me, I would fight. I was a fighter. I was brave. But with him, I didn't step up for myself until I had my child. Then I was like, enough is enough. But so when she was screaming, and I was like, what up, bitch, let's go, you know? So that was my mentality as hot. Even though I was pregnant, I was like, let's go, bitch. So I'm thinking Aaron's fucking her. She's upset. I'm here. He brought me here. So the mood changed. People started moving towards Aaron and I, men. And then I said, ooh, it felt eerie. I said, something's different. This is not you know, I'm fucking your man. You know, when you're hard, you feel.
Hey, what's up, peeps? Welcome back to the Lionel B Show. It's your first time tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos, man. Also, make sure y'all click that notification bell button so anytime I drop a brand new video, y'all be the first ones to get it. Now, peeps, everybody back in the day remembers Gloria Velez, one of the original video vixens and urban magazine models, and also Aaron Hall from Guy's Baby Mother. Well, guys, she's coming out now saying Uncle Luke from Too Loud Crew groomed her when she was just a damn baby in high school, and she even dropped some receipts. Now, guys, Luke, of course, wasn't too happy about these allegations, since black men in the industry are getting sued left and damn right. Now, he immediately came for Aaron Hall's sick ass, wanting Gloria Velez to redivert her energy right back to her sick baby daddy. Now, guys, Gloria Velez is no stranger to being a part of the Freaky Deaky Fest. Now, I remember seeing her on some wild uncut videos of her doing some strange things with Luke way back in the day, guys. This shit was in the 90s, and it was on VHS tape, okay? Don't want to talk about how many times I watched it, but it was quite an unhealthy amount. But anyways, guys, for him to try to deny it is absolutely crazy. Now, she spoke about her baby daddy also being way savage. And also right after, guys, of course, she had to come for Uncle Luke. Now, in her actual post, she put up one of her stories that said, if you don't think grooming is happening in this business, you're sadly mistaken. It started 1994 with Luke and a few others in this business. I was in high school.
Rock Squad, talk to me now. Talk to me. Who should get the blame? Should the older men, should the men that's grooming these underage girls, should they get the blame? Should these underage girls that knows that they ain't got no business being around these older men, or should they both get the blame? I go back to R. Kelly. I don't believe R. Kelly is the only one that should be in prison. I believe that the parents, the uncles, the aunts, I believe the women, because it was women now, it was women. Oh, well, we stayed with R. Kelly because, you know, we was scared. Come on. Come on. Talk to me, somebody. Talk to me. This is deep. It's deep. It's because she's literally telling us she was a hoe. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a hoe a hoe. She's telling us she was a hoe. Fresh out of high school. She was still in high school when she got with Luke. She said Luke groomed her. Then from Luke, she went to Aaron Hall. We gonna move on to Fat Joe and other celebrities being on Jeffrey Epstein's list. But I want to get some more out of this Gloria Velez before we move on. We're going to move on to the Harvey Epstein list. But I want to get some more out of Gloria.
Now, guys, if you do the math on that, she's currently 44. Now, back in 94, what does that make her? 13, 14 years old, 15? Crazy stuff, man. Boy, all of these celeb rappers, man, is getting knocked the hell down. Now, guys, they had resurfaced a old post that she made where she actually showed her student ID. And she said, just 18 years old here with a veteran already in the game. And she was petty as hell, and she added Uncle Luke. The last time we actually seen each other in person or on the phone, I was 19 years old. A lot has been said throughout the years. Maybe soon it's time to sit down and talk.
Now, this is the post that she put up. Just 18 years old here on the ID with a veteran already in the game, Uncle Luke. Now, she's 18.
Like adults. I'm not a child anymore. I'm 44 now. So Uncle Luke, man, he replied, he dropped a comment. He said, that's my girl, love, Gloria. And she actually replied right back to his comment. She said, look at God. Luke 6:27 through 28. And Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who...
My team manage over 200 campaigns a year.
And
Monday.com really help with efficiency.
Who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Now, somebody under that post said, what did he do? I'm here for the book too. And another social media user said, surviving Uncle Luke on Lifetime. She said, I laughed so hard at this because those words couldn't be more true. Throughout all I've been through, I'm blessed to have a sane mind. Now, man, apparently Uncle Luke actually saw that particular comment and he definitely wasn't happy. So he decided to do his big one. He came back and clapped back and he said, no, 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 Luke, don't get down like that, baby. Keep your convention on your baby daddy before you get a defamation lawsuit. Now, the crazy thing is, guys, I don't know about a defamation lawsuit, being that there's actually video evidence of Gloria Velez being in these wild-ass videos with Uncle Luke. I mean, he's right there center stage. You know what I'm saying? He getting his tallywhacked by some chick. You know, I mean, crazy, really graphic video, guys. So I don't know how he could say defamation when she's just speaking the truth. She's just coming out saying, hey, man, this dude picked me up from fucking high. This dude picked me up from high school. And then from there, you know, we was just getting it on. We was getting it popping. And also Aaron Hall, man. I mean, Aaron Hall don't make it no better. Guys, if it wasn't for Aaron Hall's ass, y'all would be okay. Aaron Hall had to open up his damn mouth and start getting people pissed off. Now, what's going to happen is going to be even more accusers coming out. You already see Diddy got sued 3 times, and that's just within this past month. Now, there's going to definitely be a lot more lawsuits after this. I mean, as far as that new law they got out in New York, I believe that expired on the 24th, so I'm not sure if people are still going to be able to follow these crazy lawsuits that they've just been coming up with, you know, that I'm just kind of side-eyeing a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if they really did it, okay, you know, they need to get their justice. But if they didn't, if it's just frivolous lawsuit, y'all dead ass wrong for that. And y'all need to be dealt with too. If I'm correct, y'all let me know. If I'm incorrect, y'all let me know in the comments. I think I saw it somewhere where it says November the 24th was going to be the last day people were able to bring up these 20, 30-year-old lawsuits. And everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. But this is crazy, man. It's hitting home, man. Florida, Gloria Velez, Uncle Luke. You know, I always thought it was an odd pairing, you know, being a youngster myself, seeing a young girl up there doing some strange things for some change. With the whole entire audience watching, guys, it was like a crowd of people. You know, it wasn't just like a few people. It was a crowd of people. They was really putting on a whole damn crazy ass.
So she basically was hoeing. She basically was hoeing. And in my opinion, I think that the majority of these females are hoeing. Now, I don't believe in the taking it from them, but a lot of these females at the age of 13, 14, 15, and 16, believe it or not, they have their mind set on hoeing. It is what it is. Every man, every little boy is not a good boy or a good man. Every woman, every little girl is not a good little girl or a good woman. You got some little girls out here, 13, got in their mind. Now, it just seems like it's starting to backfire. Things are starting to backfire for different reasons, you know, for different reasons. My thing is, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know what you're getting yourself into. An older man gets with a little girl, you know what you're getting yourself into. A little girl gets with an older man, she might not know what she's getting herself into, but do she? That's the $1 million question. Do these little girls know what they are getting themselves into? Let me know. Now, I want us to move on, and we could come back and touch off on it a little bit, but I want us to go to Fat Joe and other celebrities' names allegedly being on Jeffrey Epstein's list. Have y'all heard about that? Have any of y'all heard about that? Hassan Campbell made reference to Fat Joe's name allegedly being on the list of Jeffrey Epstein.
It's hard to reach your goals when your teams are pulled in too many directions. With Asana, tasks and company-wide goals are in one place, so everyone's aligned. Try Asana, the smarter way to work.
Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Right. So it seemed like you were kind of hurt by it more than anything because you admired him. Of course. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing that people fail to realize. It's not that I'm trying to tear the man down. It is what it is. He told. But these dudes, it's just crazy. It's just like, you know, it's sort of like with Fat Joe, right? When Fat Joe made the video talking about if dudes is trying to destroy hip hop under one breath, and then if Bambaataa did this, he should have been killed. But then when you sit up there and you Google, Fat Joe had a sexual assault case.
Did any of y'all know about the sexual assault case that Fat Joe has?
And then under the sexual assault case that he had, his ghost writer or rapper that was there with him, TA, was actually there when what happened and actually vouching that it actually did happen, and that girl was she was mistreated and mistouched. And then have more allegations.
Yeah. Did they ever say like what happened with that situation? Like it just went away?
I mean, the situation went away because from what I understand, Joe got lawyers, but at the same time, you got to understand too is now they was basically saying that Joe's name was on the Epstein list.
Allegedly, Hassan Campbell stated allegedly that Fat Joe's name was on the Epstein's list. Now, Fat Joe's name has always been popping up as far as doing some dirty deeds. We all know, allegedly, Fat Joe sacrificed Big Pun. Drop a one. Drop a one. Not only allegedly did Fat Joe sacrifice Big Pun, allegedly he took, was it $4 million from Big Pun's wife. Allegedly, Remy Ma gave Fat Joe $30,000 to give to Big Pun's wife. Fat Joe kept it. Now, there's definitely a list, and there's definitely celebrity names on that list of Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm going to go over some of the names on the list. Bill Clinton was one. Y'all know Bill Clinton's name was on the Jeffrey Epstein list.
And he said it's a misunderstanding, but the lawyers that had the list, they also said that some celebrities, the judges, they get their name taken off of the Epstein list because it would destroy their catalog and who they are in the industry. So now you have to ask yourself a question. Was his name really on that list or was it not on that list? Because some of those people had their names removed so that they could be anonymous.
Drop a 2 if you think his name could have been on that list. Drop a 2.
And then when you got
didn't he come out and say that there was a fake list that came out that had his name on it?
Yeah, he said it was a fake list that had his name on it, but it wasn't a fake list, it was a list.
So Fat Joe did come out. And that's interesting. Salute 80s, baby. That's interesting. Fat Joe did come out and say it was a fake list. So he acknowledged his name being on the list, but he just said it was a fake list that his name was on. But fake list or real list, his name was on a list. Now, what do you mean the list was fake? See, this is very interesting. This is very interesting.
There's a list. And out of all people, why would his name be there? But okay, let's say Joe is innocent. Joe, let's just say he wasn't. It doesn't look right that you sit up there defending Africa Bambaataa. That's a strike against you. When everybody knew what time it was with Africa Bambaataa, you acting like you didn't know that this man was a You acting like you didn't know that he was a sex predator. You acting, but then when you Google Fat Joe, what comes up? Fat Joe, a sexual case, it comes up. So now you had allegations with a girl. Then you got a song. Then when you sit back and you analyze Fat Joe, he got a song rapping about having sex with a 16-year-old.
What's up with these having sex with these 16-year-olds? Somebody talk to me. Is it a coincidence? What's really good? Why would you have a song Why would you have lyrics? You don't play about. Some things you just don't play about. And that you don't play about it. So why would you have a song where you're referenced to having sex with a 16-year-old? You do know she's considered to be a minor.
Now, I'm sitting up there saying, well, damn, so you got a song rapping about having sex with a 16-year-old, and your ghostwriter is accusing you of being a 40-year-old in a relationship with a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that situation did not age very well. Whoever wrote that song, that definitely, sheesh.
Yeah, but you know, the sad part about it is that when this video played, and these so-called quote-unquote real niggas that run around with this nigga, they hear this, they look into the evidence, they still gonna act like they don't see it because they don't care. Until it's their sister, until it's their daughter.
And that's what I always say. People will turn a blind eye. People will ignore the cries and pleas of other people that have become victims until it's something that happens to their loved one. Now this is Tina Torres. Let's see what she got to say.
Save money with Snapshot ProView. Instant savings on your commercial.
80s baby says. 80s baby says they want their innocence. They want to control their minds and body. I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Because like I said before, I know that everybody is not like Shank Rock. Everybody don't move like me. So me trying to understand and figure out their get down, I guess is equivalent to them trying to understand my get down. Like for me, hey, it's about finessing. I ain't got time to be forcing nobody. I ain't got time to be trying to control you. You with me because you want to be with me. I ain't trying to force you to be with me. You laying down sexually with me because you want to lay down sexually with me. I ain't forcing you to do none of that stuff. That's just not my get down. That was never my get down. You know, I'm a finesser. Look, I'm going to present myself to you. Look, you're going to either choose or either you're going to get to stepping. But all that mind control, all that forcing you, that to me takes away the beauty. To me, that takes away the craft, the art. If you got to play these little mind games, if you got to trick a motherfucker to be with you. You know what I mean? Some people put roots on you and witchcraft and do all other kind of crazy stuff. That ain't my get down. You know, trying to force you to stay with me. Nah. But as I said before, everybody is not like me, just like I'm not like everybody. So me trying to figure out somebody else's get down is the equivalent of them trying to figure out my get down. Ladies, let me ask y'all this, ladies. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because I've heard plenty of women say that they but I've heard some females say that they need a man to play mind games with them. Some say they need a man to control them, because if they're left alone to control themselves, if they have to think for themselves, then it's no telling what they would do. And I understand that to a degree. I understand that to a point. But the mind game, okay, Allah says, you're not in the industry, though. It's a power trip. Okay. Now, maybe it's a power trip, and I'll take that. I'll take that. It's a power trip. So I'll take that. Appreciate you for pointing that out.
Okay, so one of the biggest videos that I've seen from you, right, is you talking about celebrities at the BET Awards and how as kids, you know, we were watching these shows like, oh my God, this is so cool. But then, you know, you said these people are so scared, they're owned by large corporations, and they can't really even do what they want or say what they want. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, pretty much. They're given scripts, they're given things to talk about, you know, and they're given a persona, and they have to stick to that script. If, say, another pandemic happens, if they want to go against the grain, they're not allowed to.
So are these things that, you know, are put into the record contracts that they sign and they agree to, or what exactly?
Well, I mean, I don't know the details of that, you know what I mean? But I do know of another artist that was starting to put out information, and he got calls from people saying, nope, 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 bad boy.
Yeah.
So they get warnings.
Gotcha. And for this specific clip, it got sent to me because I do a lot of content that's related to Terror Squad and Fat Joe. And one of the things you said was that Joe is one of the biggest cucumber suckers. How he comes across as someone that is afraid to say the wrong thing. Did you grow up as a Terror Squad fan?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, what made you want to say that about Joe specifically?
Because I can read his energy. And I have a feeling he may have sacrificed Big Pun. So, you know, people say obviously health issues, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Drop a 1 if y'all think Fat Joe may have allegedly sacrificed Big Pun.
But again, you do that through the spirit realm. And then someone's physical sickness can come upon them through the spirit realm. So, you just look at him. He's a cornball. You know, he doesn't, there's nothing of substance that is helping humanity, that is uplifting hip hop even, that is coming from his mouth. He just introduced, what's that girl, Sexy Red?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Joe, what the fuck are we doing out here?
She got a valid point. Salute, Coke Tan. She got a valid point. Fat Joe is the one that introduced Sexy Red. Now, I'm not a player hater, so I don't want nobody to get it twisted, but let's listen to Sexy Red's lyrics. She ain't really speaking nothing. But that's Fat Joe doing. Fat Joe introduced Sexy Red.
Bro, this ain't hip hop.
Yeah, it's real interesting, especially ever since he joined Rock Nation. It's like the fame shot through the roof even more. Like there's no album, there's nothing but like literally on every show. And I'm sorry to say, but you know, when you start showing up on like The View and stuff like that, like when like, you know, old women like you, then that says something else. Like it's a different level of fame. You know, it's like a different level of fame.
Mm-hmm. Next level shit.
Right, exactly. So you think that him joining Rock Nation obviously took him to be a part of the elite?
Oh, probably, definitely. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you can see clear to see now. You know what I mean? He's all in it.
Right, like he has like the books and you know, and the shows being developed and everything on his life.
One other thing too, in hip hop, I mean, we all know if you're gonna rap, you got a pen. You have to write. So none of these hip hop people are saying anything about the Cardi B's and all these frauds coming in who don't have the pen and who actually sound terrible on records.
Yeah.
They're endorsing this shit. And every one of Cardi's records, she's talking about prostitution.
Yeah, and we're going to get into Cardi in a little bit too, because I know that you've had some harsh criticism about her as well. So Joe had this one artist that was with him for so many years that was penning a lot of like his records and everything. And he came out to do Exposing. His name is T.A. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And he did a lot of exposing, like it's ridiculous, crazy amount. But I don't know if you know who Choke No Joke is. He was with Rockefeller back in the days and everything, and he did a lot of documenting for video and everything. But he can't.
I want to go to the list. Let's check out some of the names. If y'all already don't know, let's check out some of the names that's on Jeffrey Epstein's list.
Unsealing several high-profile names of those in Jeffrey Epstein's orbit, and that was due to this lawsuit that was filed over the Ghislaine Maxwell case. I want to put some video up of Epstein there. We now know that nearly 200 names that had previously been redacted from court documents in a lawsuit against Jeffrey Epstein's former lover and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, have been made public on orders of this federal judge there in New York. And this is what we know. Some of those names, big names on the list, they include former President Bill Clinton, Epstein's estranged longtime aide, Doug Band, Prince Andrew, member of the royal family, of course, brother to King Charles, and the French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, who, like Epstein, died while awaiting trial. So in the meantime, we want to bring into the conversation now more experts to kind of help us analyze all of this. What is...
Let me ask y'all this. Let me talk to the chat. Do y'all think, because I've heard somebody mention this, do y'all think the reason why they're coming after
for the first time
the P. Diddy's, do you think it's because of the fall of Jeffrey Epstein? Do y'all think that it's just a domino effect? Could that be it? Could it be a domino effect? Could it be a domino effect? That's why the P. Diddy, 80s Baby says definitely. '80s Baby says definitely. Who else think that way? Who else feels that way? Because I'm going to stop trying to figure out why they got caught up in that. Amanda says, I think they are linked together. Who else think that? Ebeck says it may be politically connected because last year it was T.I. Ayla says definitely, and the ones who being exposed are the bottom of the pile. Exactly. Amanda says birds of a feather flock together. Because that's interesting, because you figure P. Diddy has been getting away. I mean, P. Diddy had a long run. He's been getting away. Then all of a sudden, his houses get raided. And as Suge Knight said, they didn't necessarily raid P. Diddy's house for him. They raided his house. They wanted the footage. They wanted to confiscate the videos and stuff to protect whoever was on those videos. And that's a good point. I had to sit back and I said, you know what? Suge Knight might be right. Amanda says Jay-Z got on a jet and took off too, supposedly. 50 Cent started trolling Jay-Z. First thing 50 said was what, Amanda? Where Jay-Z at? Anybody seen Jay-Z? Jay-Z got up out of Dodge. So who else? Who else is going to go down? Who else is going to go down? So it's been 3 weeks, damn near a month, or it might be a month. Usher involved too, yeah. But it's almost a month now that P. Diddy's homes got raided. Yep. Let's see what this say.
Hundreds of court records tied to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, now made public. The more than 900 pages of materials previously deemed confidential includes references to familiar names, from politicians to celebrities, many of them previously linked to Epstein before his suicide in 2019. Former President Bill Clinton and Donald Trump mentioned in deposition transcripts. Both have denied any wrongdoing.
Even Donald Trump name comes up.
One, a woman who once worked for Epstein, recalled he spoke to her about Clinton, saying Epstein told her one time, quote, that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. A spokesman for Clinton referred NBC News to a prior statement from 2019, saying he had not spoken to Epstein in over a decade and was unaware of Epstein's crimes. The same woman says Epstein once suggested calling Trump for an outing in Atlantic City. Other prominent names also littered throughout the documents, including the late pop star Michael Jackson and magician David Copperfield, mentioned as being at Epstein's house in Palm Beach, Florida, according to one survivor who says Copperfield asked, quote, if I was aware that girls were getting paid to find other girls. He did not immediately return a request for comment. All of the details contained in the official court records from a civil suit filed by Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime.
Why not just get a 19-year-old young lady? Why not just get a 20-year-old young lady? Why not just get a 21-year-old young lady? Why it had to be 15, 16, 17-year-old little girls? Why not get a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, or 21-year-old young lady? Because, I mean, I understand, you know, some people like orgies. Hey, it is what it is. But why not get the young ladies instead of the young girls? Do y'all follow me? Why not get young ladies instead of young girls?
Girlfriend and accomplice who is currently behind bars for sex trafficking. Giuffre reiterated in her now unsealed deposition she was directed to have sex with Britain's Prince Andrew, something he has repeatedly denied. The two later settled a separate sex abuse lawsuit. Giuffre telling Savannah in 2019, how did this happen for so long? Sigrid McCauley, Giuffre's attorney, says her client supports the documents being made public, and they only begin to scratch the surface.
We learn more each time about how this sophisticated trafficking operation happened for so many decades and how many people were involved. It was vast, it was significant, it harmed literally hundreds of...
Salute, Suntan. Salute, Suntan. Salute, Suntan. I see you. I want to go to my man, Professor Griff. Y'all remember Professor Griff from Public Enemy? I want to go to Professor Griff for a minute. Because Professor Griff was the male version of Wendy Williams. Professor Griff, Ben was coming out.
Professor Griff, Minister of Information, Public Enemy #1. I'm probably that Public Enemy.
Let's check out some of Professor Griff's material and see what we could come up with.
This is my book, Analytics. It is 20 years of conversation and interviews with yours truly, Professor Griff, Minister of Information. I'm here at Black Nobel Bookstore in Philly. Now listen, y'all know and understand the history of Public Enemy. Philly, all right, was our second home. We put it down in Philly. Lady B and some other people that came and surrounded us and brought us through and gave us the key to Philly. Not the key that you get from other people downtown. The Black Nobel key. You understand what I'm saying? The first chapter of the book, I did,
Let's go here. Let's go here.
It's a native whole body deodorant. Native bites odor for 72 hours and comes in unbelievably long.
All right.
right, we have the legendary Professor Griff in the building from one of my favorite groups, you know, rap or otherwise, Public Enemy. How's everything?
Everything's good, man. I'm about the legend part. I'm trying to live up to that. Yeah.
Well, you've lived up to it already, I think. You look great, by the way. I actually looked you up on Wikipedia. You're 56 years old. You look 35.
Oh, thanks, man. But Wikipedia, I wouldn't do Wikipedia, man. Anybody could put anything on Wikipedia. I read some stuff on Wikipedia about myself. I'm like, that ain't true. Yes, we got to talk to those people, man.
I feel you. Now, I remember the last time I interviewed Chuck D. This was some years ago. And he was telling me how the two of you had a conversation about how, you know, you guys really looked at each other and just kind of thought about how healthy you were and how, you know, a lot of people, a lot of peers are dying. And, you know, we just talked about how Big Psych just died today. You know, so it's definitely, you know, you're a little bit older than me, but, you know, people in our age range are definitely now living healthy and dying very prematurely.
Yeah, and if you do the research, a lot of them are dying in their 40s. Heavy D, Guru, and a few other people. I'm like, Fife Dog and a few other people. And I don't want to attribute that to the quote-unquote entertainment lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, that has some contributing factors to it, but I think it's just overall, man, how you think, of course, what you eat, the mental and the physical food. I mean, part and parcel, you can't, if we separate the entertainment industry, and then we say, okay, the people in the entertainment industry are living long lives, and everybody else is dying, I guess there wouldn't be anything to talk about. But because we are in the entertainment industry, and aspects of our lives, at least 75% of my life is public, which is a good thing, but for publicity's sake, to advance your career, but that's critical, man, because if I get there, toothache, half the world knows, and that's not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of those people that have passed on have died in their 40s, man, which is not healthy. Not when the Bible says most of us live to be 1,000. 40 is nothing.
Right. Now, before you joined Public Enemy, you had something called the Universal Revolutionary Freedom Fighters Society?
Oh, you going back, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way, that's when I was a teenager.
Right. So, talk.
Let me take the chat, y'all. The mind of Chad Michael says, may not always be for the reasons you think. Just because you hear Michael Jackson don't mean he was at the island. Michael Jackson was rich. Epstein was rich. DJ T, same thing. Don't mean the meeting was, I can't pronounce that word. And that's true. That's true. It's the same way with the P. Diddy's parties. Just because a celebrity may have attended a P. Diddy's party doesn't mean that they was getting down for the get down at those parties. And even in P. Diddy's defense, I've said this in P. Diddy's defense, even at a P. Diddy's party, P. Diddy cannot be in every room. So what may be going on in that room, P. Diddy might not even have no knowledge of. And that's in P. Diddy's defense. You know, that's like if any one of us give a party. If I give a party and I got 9 rooms, I'm in one room. I don't know what's going on in the rest of them rooms. And I could care less what goes on in the rest of them rooms because we all are adults. So I will take that, Chad, Michael. You can't just say that because they was at the island, they was at Epstein Island, they was on the island, that they was participating in that stuff. Can't say that just because they was at P. Diddy's party, that P. Diddy knew everything that was going on. Just want to be fair to other people who get caught up in things they had nothing to do with. And that's so true. That's like, you know, growing up, a few of my friends, they got high, you know, but that didn't mean that I got high. A man that says all rooms supposedly had cameras recording. And that's true. But what I'm saying is, let's say it's a party. I doubt if P. Diddy at his party, I doubt if he was watching all the cameras. I mean, he partying. He doing what he do. Allah says, I don't believe Michael Jackson was what they painted him to be. For a long time, I didn't believe it either. And I still think that because Michael didn't have a childhood, he grew up too fast. 80s Baby says, stop, Shank Rock. He spiked the drinks and he cameras in every room. If you was there after 1 a.m., you definitely was down with the get down. But what I'm trying to say, 80s Baby, is how could P. Diddy monitor everything that was going on in all those rooms? You know, I do agree he's guilty of some things, you know, but you can't say that he's guilty of everything. It's like with the R. Kelly. I do believe R. Kelly was guilty of some of it. Chad says they could have been dancing upstairs and sexing downstairs. The rooms were recorded, but everybody wasn't in every room. Right, and that's all I'm saying. So just take for instance us. Say we at a P. Diddy's party. Say we at a party, period. We in one room. We know what's going on in that room, but it's 6 other rooms. We don't know what's going on in them other rooms. So that's all I'm saying when it comes to the P. Diddy. How was he able to know everything that was going on in every room? And once again, it's a party, y'all. It's a party. And we all know what goes on at parties. Whether you participate in the activities that's going on at the parties, sex, drugs, drinking, and dancing. Those are the 4 things that goes on at a party. Sexing, drugs, drinking, and dancing. Now, you might not participate in all 4 things. You might only just participate in one. You might only participate in dancing. But do that means that you are a part of what was going on in the other rooms. And I don't think that the actual parties, I don't think that anything at the parties was going on that any of them didn't want to go on. Because if you look at the accusations, if you look at the complaints that's filed against P. Diddy from Cassie and also from Little Rod, they never mention any of the accusations taking place at the parties. Ebeck says cameras could be there for security to prevent theft and crime. And that's a good point. That's a good point. But Cassie, she didn't mention as far as to say he done something wrong to her at the parties. I mean, she did say that, you know, he would watch her, you know, having intercourse with men, and, you know, that would get him off. Let me see. But this has been going on in the industry for as long as I can remember. Lamont Sampson. Y'all remember Lamont from Sanford and Son? And he been around for years. He been in the industry for years. Let's listen to Lamont Sanford.
Ensure your passion. Here's how to start an RV quote. Just go to progressive.com/RV. Get protected by a leader.
Shaming ritual. Other podcasts are talking.
Lamont Sanford, y'all.
Back because there's been so much going on in terms of the industry.
You know what's going on.
There's been a lot going on since the last time we talked.
All the podcasts are talking about this thing with this man. I don't know this man. I don't swim in that pond. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But what I see is somebody who's doing something that's been doing it for over 30 years. And all of a sudden now, this is what I know. Okay? I only speak on what I know. I don't like that term gatekeepers. I like overseers.
So Lamont, as E-Beck says, dummy Sanford. Fred was always calling him, you big dummy. But as Lamont said, this thing been going on for over 30 years. This thing been going on. He said he don't like to consider calling them gatekeepers. He like calling them the overseers. And let's find out why he like referring to them as the overseers.
Overseers on the plantation had a certain amount of power that they could wield that the master, the owner of the plantation, gave them. And many of the slaves purportedly feared the overseers more than they did master, because they wanted to maintain and keep their status. Listen to what I'm saying and look at what's happening. They wanted to keep and maintain their status. And as long as the slaves were making that money when they weighed that cotton and whatever crop they had, the overseer's position was solid. So he cracked the whip to make sure that them slaves busted their butt.
You're choosing not to say the person's name, right?
I don't want to. You can say whatever name you want.
Because I just want to make sure the viewers, at least I'm understanding that you're talking about Diddy, and you're talking about what went down. I think like relatively, maybe about a month ago, his house got raided, and that would open up a can of worms. You're seeing different headlines come out. You're hearing about freak-off parties, which I want to ask you about. Were those things existing in your time coming up? But I mean, just seeing that.
I'll say one thing about that last part that you asked me. Fatty Arbuckle. That name ring a bell?
Nah.
Fatty Arbuckle was in the silent movies. He was a superstar in silent films. And his career was lost because he was look at you Googling because you're young. He was at a freak party, which has been going on since Hollywood existed. This is nothing new. It might.
So according to Dummy Sanford from Sanford and Son, he said the freak party's been going on since Hollywood existed. And we know that in the beginning time of Hollywood, black people wasn't allowed in Hollywood. So this freak off been going on way before black people even got into Hollywood. Let's listen to some more of Dummy Sanford.
Might be new to just your generation. This ain't nothing new.
It's nothing new. Salute Sharon. It might be new to us. It might be new to the millennials. It's nothing new to Lamont. And Lamont, I think Lamont in his 70s.
The game doesn't change, John. Only the players. And this generation doesn't understand that because they don't know what happened before. If you don't know your history, you're going to repeat the same dumb things in the future. Fatty Arbuckle was a superstar in silent films. He was at a freak party, which all the big studios used to throw. And he was accused of inserting a bottle in a woman. And it killed his career. His career became flat as 3-day-old beer. What I know about the overseers, I don't want to use that gatekeeper nonsense. That's a modern term. Is that as long as they're producing, they're good. No matter what they do, no matter how.
And that's what I said in a previous demonstration. As long as P. Diddy was making them money, he was good. And if y'all notice, Suntan says that's fine, that's grown people choose to be a part of the freak-offs but don't drug them. And if y'all notice, the last 5 years, especially with social media, when social media really, really popped off and the artists, these new artists was making all this money off the streams, they were making money off social media, the record companies, the bad boys, those record companies suffered a big, those record companies took a big hit financially. That's why months ago, P. Diddy offered to get it locked. They publishing. But why would you give them they publishing, PD? Because their publishing ain't worth nothing. So now P. Diddy ain't making them no money, no real money. Okay, he going about his business. Listen to Lamont. Well, Dummy Sanford. Listen to Dummy Sanford.
Vile it is, the gatekeepers will make it go away. Now, what I know, because I went to the top in my industry, as long as you are making money for the powers that be, you can do anything short of somebody watching you murder somebody. The moment you stop making the money for them, you have no intrinsic value. And I knew that, and that's what I used in the business of show. So I'm not talking about this young man. I don't know him. I don't swim in that pond. It's not necessary for me to bring all these people in, how he took advantage of. They wanted something, he wanted something. If you go to a shore in the Caribbean or even here, and you see a sign that says shark sightings, no recreational swimming. You see surfers out there, you see people swimming out there. They go in the water and come out, nothing might not happen. But then they go in that water and the shark will get them, and that's the end of that. So those waters that these people are swimming in are shark infested. In the motion picture industry, in the television industry, and in the recording industry. Those waters are shark infested. You take a chance to go in there, you might come out unscathed, you might not come out.
I like what he said. I like what he said. They all wanted something from each other. So let's go to Ern Hall's situation with Gloria Velez. Ern Hall wanted something, she wanted something. Let's go to P. Diddy. P. Diddy wanted something, Usher's mother wanted something. Because there's no way in the world you're going to let your 13-year-old child go and live with a man that you don't know nothing about. Now, if P. Diddy wasn't P. Diddy, if he didn't have his own record label, if he couldn't get Usher in the music business, do y'all think his mother would have allowed him to go and live with P. Diddy? If it was me and Usher was 13, do you think Usher's mother would have let her 13-year-old son come and live with me? Hell no. So it's what Dummy Sanford is saying. They wanted something and they wanted something.
Is it? Do you think what they're talking about this young man is doing has been going on since silent film? Do your research, son. After you hang up, say, you know, that old dude was right again. God dang. Because I'm from that era. I know the history of the industry. The thing that this young man is going through could be, they have a ritual, an embarrassment ritual, a shaming ritual.
Right, but let me ask you this, because
did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? And I'm with you, Leslie. Leslie says, so it's safe to say Cassie wanted something, Kim wanted something. I do agree. You heard Dummy Sanford say a ritual. He mentioned the ritual. Listen.
with that statement, you said this could be a shaming ritual. Does that mean the person's in on it as well as like this is part of my initiation? Because I saw Diddy in Miami and he was smiling as if everything was okay.
I don't know if this young man, I saw him in a magazine, and I don't want to talk about him, but I saw him on a magazine wearing some pretty zesty clothes. So that said to me, he's probably part of that whole thing. And when you're part of that whole thing, you have to do what you're told. So if you want to go swim in those waters, you got to know, you got to be prepared. Look, there people say Damon was hard on John. He was hard on. Look, my hardness came from the discipline of my mother and father. When I was 8 years old to 18, I was in scouting. When I was 11, Cub Scouts, where you learn handcrafts, 8 to 11. At 11, I joined the Boy Scouts of America. That was before homosexuals were raping little boys. This was in the 50s. I was sleeping on the ground in 20-degree weather, putting up a tent, learning how to cook my food, and being a man, how to be a man, how to start a fire with a flint. And then I went into the military. So when I went to basic training, it was like summer camp for me.
Salute, Blended Healing. Salute, Blended Healing. Appreciate you for pulling up. Now we're going to tap into Dummy Sanford speaking on child abuse in Hollywood. He says, blame the parents. How many of y'all say blame the parents? Drop a 1.
Simple isn't easy. But wow,
yeah, Dummy is smart. He definitely smart.
Say yes to simple.
But let's check him out. He say blame the parents.
The rules. So what I was doing.
Did you ever feel like your life was in danger?
Always. You know, see, here's the thing. And this is what people your age don't understand. I was in the game and I knew the rules. So what I was doing was a calculated risk. And that's why I had to fly under the radar. I did not let anybody know what I was doing. My wife did not know. When Roy was dusted and done, my kids would come home and say, Daddy, our friends at school said your daddy's a murderer. And we said, my daddy ain't no murderer. So, you know, I knew the risk. And I look at these young people, these kids, and I look at these parents that want to live vicariously through their kids, and they give them to these predators. And these kids are so screwed up, they're screwed up for life. I'm not going to mention any names, it's not necessary. It's all over the media right now. Well, but if they're out here playing a game, John, that they don't know the rules to.
Let me ask you this, because you just...
Then they cry after they get shark bit.
I was going to bring this up, because you've been saying the whole time that the game doesn't change, only the players. So that's what I'm walking away with. And I remember, you know, you had the Quiet on Set film that just dropped that's talking about sexual assault within the kid actors. What was going on with Shirley Temple? Is that too much before your day? Because she had an incident.
No, I know that story. If you look at Shirley Temple in her little ads and her little movies, her dress came down to the top of her knees in the front, and in the back, when she'd been over, you saw her panties. She said when she was the representative that Angelina Jolie did, she said she didn't see anything wrong with adults having sex with children because they started having sex with her when she was a kid. She talked about going into either Louis B. Mayer's office or somebody, and he has Johnson out.
Yeah.
She said her mother slept with the guy that she went to see.
Yeah, allegedly she laughed at the guy. I heard that story. She laughed at the guy when he pulled his pants down, and she didn't really trip about it, is what I've heard too.
So think about what I said, the way they presented her. Yeah. So this whole thing with pedophilia ain't new.
And Shirley Temple was before my time. And I'm prehistoric. So you know if Shirley Temple as a child experienced that and Shirley Temple was before my time, Beck says that has to be the answer because the parents are quiet. It's the parents. The parents are handing these kids over to these predators.
You think that's new? That's why I say these kids today, your generation, you're in a game that you don't know the rules to. That's why you get messed up and then you cry on, look what they did to me. I didn't get the money I needed to get. You should have got the money up front. And if you didn't want to do it for that amount of money, walk the hell away from it.
How does a kid, let me ask you, how does a kid avoid a situation like that?
A kid doesn't avoid it. I said the parents want to live vicariously through the children. They want to live through the children. and they give them to predators, and it screws them up for life. Now I know we're gonna get put. Well, you know, Demond, you get too graphic, and you. I told you my objective, if there is one, obviously there's not money here. The secret, you can't pay me. My objective is to educate and equip. If you're equipped, when I was in the Boy Scouts, I had to have all of the equipment that I needed to sleep in 20-degree weather. I had a yucca backpack. I worked for the Boy Scout training post when I was in high school. I had a yucca backpack. I had a sleeping bag. I had a little thin mattress. I had a poncho when it rained. I had a shovel so I could dig a trench around my tent. I had what do you call it, food that you only had to add water to it. You had to start a fire with a Flintstone. I had all of the things that I needed to camp out. That's being equipped. You couldn't go out into the woods for the weekend in 20-degree weather and not have everything that you needed to survive out there. Couldn't do that. And these kids are out here in Hollywood for whatever reason, and they don't know the rules to the game. Obviously they don't, because they're always losing. They're always coming in on the losing end. They do stupid stuff to themselves. I ain't talking about the people that sell their souls. I ain't got nothing to do with that. They got to do what the puppet masters say they have to do. And they're all men, by the way, not women.
Why you say it like that?
Because the puppet masters are the patriarchal hierarchy. Everybody want that smoke? I'll take all of that smoke, and I know what I'm talking about. You can't be in, if you go to Vegas and you sit down there at a poker table with a bunch of sharks playing poker, and you don't know the rules to poker, you think you're going to come away with some money?
Right.
Right? Yes or no?
No. It's meant for you to lose anyway. Is that part of the game too?
Oh, God. Why do you always come with it, the de facto part? You always come with the negative part. You're negative Nelly. I told you what truth is. If you don't know the rules to a game,
I'm trying to double down on the information, because the thing is, our people a lot of times they gonna see the flash, they gonna see the money, and they're gonna run to the place that they think they can get the flash and the money.
I'm good. Go swimming in a coastal water that has shark sighting. You can do that. Go do that. You might come away unscathed, but you might not.
Hyper's family, that was just a taste of my interview with Demond Wilson.
Wow. Wow. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I'll take some comments from the chat and then we're going to get out of here. I was going to do a birthday celebration for Nola this evening, and Pee-wee. Matter of fact, Pee-wee birthday, I think Nola's is today and Pee-wee's is Monday. So we're going to do a birthday celebration tomorrow for Pee-wee and Nola. And if you have a birthday in April and you would like to get in on the birthday celebration, let me know. Sharon says he is so right about Shirley Temple. She was always being shipped off to some home. Yep. And as he stated, it's been in Hollywood. And you know, when Hollywood first started, blacks wasn't allowed. So those freak-offs has been going on way, way before black people even got into Hollywood. So once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Y'all got any more comments? I'll read it before we get out of here. I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. The easiest way to support the channel is hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. That's the easiest way. If you would like to support through finances, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Or you could purchase a membership to the channel. Some of my demonstrations is for members only. So if you purchase a membership, you'll be able to get access to the members only demonstrations. I do have some up and coming demonstrations that I'm only going to make for members only. If you have a question or a comment that you would like for me to read or answer, purchase a super chat. The way to purchase a super chat, a super sticker, or a membership is click the $ symbol in the chat and it'll walk you through. Peace out, Ayla. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute everybody, and I'll see y'all on the next demonstration.